Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another nightly edition of Marchwood Sadness Fantasy Football League news updates at whatever the hell time it is. All right, let's. Hold on. Say, yes? No. Wait. What? That can't be. All right, we are back. No, there's no postponement this week. This is your week 4 Marchwood Sadness Fantasy Football update. I was just hoping to give Steve a heart attack there. Hopefully, he wasn't smart enough to check out the timestamp on this video before watching it. And no, I do not have coronavirus. To do that, you have to socialize with people. Or to get that, you have to socialize with people and have friends. Neither of which I do, so I'm not really in any danger here. All right, so I didn't really come up with anything all that great to do as the intro this time. I don't know, my creative genius just wasn't firing, so I thought instead we'd play a game before we go over the boring stuff here. And you guys are welcome to play along too. So what I'm going to do is name a group of players, and I just want you guys to see if you can guess what they have in common, okay? So here we go. In no particular order, by the way. Julio Jones, Devontae Adams, DeAndre Hopkins, Julian Edelman, Stephon Diggs, Justin Jefferson, Alan Lazard, and George Kittle. Okay. Give you a minute to think on that. Pause if you need more time. The answer is all of these players have had more receiving yards in 1 week than the top Eagles receiver has had all year. Yep, you heard that right. But, you know, it's not all bad. The Eagles, the might of the NFC East, division leaders, man, feels good. Now that we have the GOAT that is Mr. Travis Fulgham to guide us through the darkness and into the light. Neil, Nate, I know you guys don't know what it's like to be leading a division, but it's a great feeling. You know, you heard it here first. Super Bowl, it's happening this year, so get ready. All right, getting down into it. No league business to speak of this week. I know Nate would like to lose points for missed extra points, but we don't do that here, so that sucks. Maybe we can petition for that next year or something. That's all we got. So let's get right on into our top players of the week. All right, we'll start off with the quarterbacks because that's how we always start off here. Let me pull up my fancy schmancy spreadsheet. Top one was Dak with a fantastic 75 points for Jose in yet another loss for the Cowboys because their defense is trash and they don't start playing offense till like the second quarter. But hey, still good points there. The second was Mr. Tom Brady, vintage Tommy, throwing 5 touchdowns on the waiver wire. Dave, you bailed out too early. Going to running backs, hurts me to do it again. Of course, Steve got Mixon when he had 42 points, 3 touchdowns, nonsense. And Nate was able to get second with only 28 points out of Dalvin Cook there. Wide receivers, Nate again, here you go. 38.4 points out of OBJ. Was looking real pretty on the bench for you, bud. And then Tom got 33.4 out of Mari Cooper. And again, because the Cowboys just score a shitload of points and blowout losses. Over to tight ends, ripping my soul out a little bit was Jose. Got 40 points with George Kittle. And, I mean, everybody saw this coming. I don't know why I even need to say this name, but Robert Tonyan for the Packers got 33 points, 3 touchdowns last night on the waivers. Yeah, that was the new one. Top flexes were DJ Chark in his first week back, got 2 touchdowns, sitting pretty on Neil's bench. And then Adam Thielen got 26 for Tom. Tom's had a good week with top guys. Defenses, this is where we start going downhill. Kansas City got 18, and hold on, yeah, the Eagles got 14. No fucking idea how. They were both on waivers. And then kickers, Brandon McManus, Jason Sanders, and my homie Sam Ficken for Heisman, never forget, all had 18 points and were all on the waivers. Looking at our totals here, Steve, of course, is still leading with 8 top scoring players. Ryan and I are on the board, but are still just terrible with 1. And we've had 16 top players on the waivers, so that goes to show what any of us know about this crap. All right, let's get into the overview here. As always, we're going to start worst to first. And again, It's not Ryan. I can't believe it. But at the bottom here, we've got Nate. Man, Nate, I don't I don't know what to tell you, but it seems that you just can't figure out your wide receivers. You swapped in Galladay and Allen, and once again you had two receivers outscore them on the bench in a game that you only lost by less than 5 points. So that's got to suck a little bit. To make matters worse, Eckler got injured and he should be out for a while. So you do have Jonathan Taylor, and then after that, well, not too much. Um, Even more on there, the Lions got smacked again. Like I said, they just don't know what it's like to be a powerhouse football team like the Eagles. Um, but maybe someday. But I wanted to know what was going on in the team here, so I did a little digging. I looked into the advanced metrics a little bit here, and might be interested if the league were scored by how many points for, you'd be up in seventh place, which it doesn't sound great. It's better. But the more telling tale is that you are third in points against. You are just getting smacked around all the time. That's how it goes though. So maybe it'll turn around if your opponents stop going to town on you. Looking ahead to next week's fight, you are coming against, or I should say match. You're coming up against Arias in what I'm going to dub the cripple fight of the week. So that everybody keep an eye on that. That should be a interesting bottom of the barrel tussle next week. Let's see. Was there Nate? I think I wanted to say something positive. No, I didn't. Your team's just bad. Okay. Yep. That's it. Sorry, Nate. I know I had to get you out of the way real quick again. I know that's what you're looking for. So at least you got that going for you, buddy. Hey, there's your nice thing. All right, and now holding firm in his second place is Ryan. That's right, still second place. A rough go over this week, Ryan. I feel for you. I thought you could have pulled it off, but then of course Jose pulled some more wizardry out of his ass, and unfortunately your team just couldn't keep up. And that's all right. For anyone who doesn't know, today is actually Ryan's birthday. So happy birthday, Ryan. I won't say too much bad about your team. I'll be nice to you because you're still doing better than I thought. And I'll try to be nice today. I will give you a little tidbit. Lineup probably keep the Buccaneers defense in. They're playing the Chicago Bears, who I don't know why people still let them be a real football team. But yeah, they should do good. Unfortunately, I can't let you get too excited because next week you are going up against Steve, and the only note I could figure out to write down for that was "God have mercy on your soul." Now, let me also say this, Ryan. If you can pull this off, if you can be the one to give Steve his first defeat, I'll cast my vote. You just win the league right there. That's all that matters. We'll cancel the season, and I think you just win. I don't think Steve will go for it, but it's worth a shot. So I am definitely looking forward to that game. I know Steve's going to say he's not nervous, but we'll see. All right, coming up in third, Arias. Now, disclaimer: Arias got mad at me last week because I didn't acknowledge his name change. Good name change, Arias. Saquon is indeed Sagon, which is normally a good thing, and here it's not. Speaking of bad things, Arias, it just keeps getting worse and worse for you. I don't really know what to say. Even though we were both watching the Eagles game, I don't even know when My Name is Jeff actually played. I think they just threw him some pity points because they felt bad, because I honestly didn't even see him touch the ball. Even more incredible is that Ridley got 0 points. Even when Julio was hurt. Julio was in half the game and out half the game, and in neither one of those halves did it matter. He could get 0 points. 0 catches, 0 yards, 0 anything. I think that's more an indication of how terrible the Falcons' coaching is and the fact that Dan Quinn should have been fired in 2016. Hopefully he'll get Bill O'Brien soon. We can only dream. Maybe someday. All right, so I would like to draw your attention to your bench here in case you hadn't already seen it. You have four players who got 0 this week. Oh no, sorry, 5 if I count Bell, but he's on IR, so I won't count him. 4 players who got zeros. It's not good. Um, Also, unfortunately for Bell, Adam Gase isn't fired yet. Another guy who never should have ever been a coach. But we can dream as football fans, and you as a Bell owner, we can dream. Maybe someday. Um, yeah, Lamar's also not looking too hot. Rodgers outscoring him, so that's that's an interesting one. I think the real teller there is just play literally everybody you can against the Falcons because they're going to do fantastic. Um, Arias, I felt kind of bad for you too, so I decided, similar to Nate, I thought I'd look into the advanced statistics here and see if I can find out what's really going on. Now, it turns out, um, in points for, you'd be in fifth place. So not a little bit better, a few places better. You'd be in fifth. You're in seventh right now, or no, sorry, eighth right now, a couple spots better. But the more interesting one again, points against, you're number one, but you are the dead horse that the league likes to beat and have their best weeks against. So, maybe you can shake that, or maybe you'll just end up getting 3,000 points scored against you and finish in 10th. Who knows? It's only time will tell. Um, I don't seem to have written down who you play next week, and I don't know why, but we are going to find out right now. Sorry, ESPN sucks again. My antivirus keeps telling me it's trying to block suspicious connection attempts. So I don't know what the hell ESPN's trying to do to my computer. All right. So next week. Oh no, that's right. You have Nate. Oh yeah, the cripple fight of the week. Yeah, that should be a fun one. I don't think either of you is going to deserve to win it, but I think it'll just be a fantastic cluster the entire time. Yeah, that's all I got. All right. So now in seventh place is me, who is also apparently trash. Um, Oh wait, let me go back. Nate, I forgot to say I wanted to give you the cheese hat of shame this week, and I just couldn't do it. 2 weeks in a row, it was just I just didn't want to do it. You were close though, Arias. I also wanted to give you the cheese hat of shame, but it's everything's going so badly. I didn't want to pile on. The next candidate for the hat was me, and I was also very close in the running, but I didn't quite eke it out yet. It was a really tight race though. So looking at my team, it seems like Kenyon Drake is damn near a certified bust. Pretty darn close. I'm getting ready to write it off. I told Nate last week when I tried to trade for Darrell Henderson in a different league from him that he was a mirage and was going to fool a lot of people this week and do shitty. And I still played him. I said that and I still played him. So that's on me for not listening to myself and being terrible. Mahomes, for a third round pick, is not living up to it right now. They did that 170 burger, but other than that, not living up to it. I am definitely relying on AJ Brown and Deebo Samuel to both come back healthy and be good. And hopefully there's some way I can pay Steve $5 to let them be listed as a running back or something. I don't know. I gotta find some way to make that work. So yeah, the best thing I really got going is freaking Rodrigo Blankenship, who is the man and is the best kicker there ever was. Yeah, not a lot looking good for me right now. Next week I have Tom, and the only chance I have at winning, I think, is that Chubb is out and Jones has a bye week. So maybe I can pull it off thanks to injuries and buys, because that's where my life is at right now, which is great. All right, coming in the bottom of the loser circle at number 6, we have Neil. Neil, it was close. A lot of thinking went into this, and I'm going to have to award you the cheese hat of shame this week. The reason being, there were 2 reasons here. One, you had 4 touchdowns left on your bench, which, if that wasn't bad enough, you are also still rostering AJ Green, why he shouldn't have even been drafted in the first place. So for those reasons, you're our big winner this week, bud. Looking at your team, it's not looking all that great. David Montgomery, while you benched him, he seems to be back in mid-season form. 10 carries for 27 yards. So yeah, that looks just about right. Looks about right. The Bears defense struggling against 80-year-old Philip Rivers and wide receiving core of nobody. So that's not so great either. But I can't be all mean. I do have to say some good things. You have Kareem Hunt, who should get a huge boost, seeing that Chubb is out. So he should get there should be really good points to be had next week. That's about the only good thing. I am impressed you played Will Fuller on a week he did good. That's hard to do. He either does really good or gets hurt within the walking up to the stadium. So that was good job on that one. Next week, next week you have Jose, which judging by his track record, which we'll talk about in a little bit here, could be very, very bad. Good luck there, buddy. All right, take off the hats and getting into the top half of the league here. Number 5 is Dave. Now, Dave, like Arias, has been changing his name as he rolls in different quarterbacks. But unlike Arias, his quarterbacks are rolling as the names roll. Dave is continuing to get good production of all the free agent picks there. As I know, Nate is upset, and Dave might not know. Nate and I play in a different league where a missed extra point is worth -5. So Dave is very lucky we don't have this in this league, or that we would have a different conversation, and he would be on the losing end of this. It was that close. But we don't, so that's not a problem. Looking at Dave's team here, apparently, I don't know how Chris Carson has bionic knees or something, because it went from he's going to be out for a couple of weeks to, oh yeah, he's going to play today and score 2 touchdowns, which was great. He screwed me over somewhere else. Yeah, not much to say, Dave. Your team looks, like I said last time, your team's looked pretty solid all year. There hasn't really been any big holes. You were able to pick up Justin Jefferson, which is good. You can probably cut bait on T.Y. Hilton at this point, not because I want him, just because I think he's bad and it's not worth it anymore. But yeah, I still think your team's in a good position. I think the problem you might have is that when you come up against some of the Steve or Jose, some of the top scoring guys, you don't really have anyone who's going to blow the roof off it like they do. But hey, everybody plays solid, and I still think you're in a good spot here. I am very jealous. You have Randall on tap next week, which could be a pretty good slog. You both have good teams, and I think that should be a fun matchup. All right, keep moving up here. In 4th, we've got Tom. Okay, once again, I'm going to point out the first thing is Carson Wentz is still not playing like a good quarterback, but somehow he's still getting decent fantasy points, and I just don't understand it. I think the only explanation this week is that we have the GOAT, we have the man, Travis Fulgham, receiver who's going to bail us out, lead us out of the darkness, and it's just going to be amazing. I did have a rough go of Chubb getting injured. He's going to be out for a while. Looking at your bench, you have some options. Jones maybe, or Mostert. I don't know when Mostert's going to come back, but it's not totally a lost cause. Unfortunately, you also have Jones on bye next week. Fortunately, you're playing against me, and I'm terrible, so it probably won't matter. But there's a chance. There's a chance. You did get a little bit lucky this week. You won by a decent margin, but again, Neil left 4 touchdowns on his bench, so that definitely could have swayed the favor a little bit there. But still, hey, a win's a win, so that looks good. I still think your team's in a decent spot. I think you'll be able to survive until Chubb gets back. So no major concerns on that one. Looking good there, bud. All right, coming in at 3rd, we got Randall, who kicked my ass this week. Okay. Randall's team, he was missing James Conner this week for the COVID postpone, missing Jonnu Smith, and Julio Jones only played by half a game. And it still didn't matter. He still was able to beat me by 30 points? 20 points, by 20 points. So that was good. David Johnson, who I was not high on this season and just didn't think was worth a draft that high, outscored both of my running backs that I played combined. So once again, shows what the fuck I know. But it's looking good. Pickup McKinnon is still looking great, especially on the Eagles D. He shredded them up. Wide receiver production looks a little shaky. Julio hasn't been doing great. DeAndre, well, he's good. The Cardinals just look bad. They don't live up to anything that it looked like. And behind them, you don't have a ton on the bench. Well, you got MVS and Sammy Watkins. So yeah, not a ton there. So I mean, I'm not one to speak. Again, I'm way far down the list, but you won't get cupcakes like me every week. So maybe look for some receiver help there. I do still think it's interesting you're rostering 2 kickers. Um, but hey, you do what you do. It's working for you. All right, keep climbing. This is where it gets sad again. So let's go to Jose at number 2. Now, once again, Jose, I asked you this last week. If you have a sports almanac, please text me, even Facebook, something. Let me know. I will pay you good money for it, and we can all get rich together. You didn't, but apparently you still have it, because this week you picked up frickin' Latavius Murray and got 2 touchdowns out of him. Last week it was Burkhead who came out over 3 touchdowns. This week it's Murray, 2 touchdowns, and I just do not understand how you're doing this and what is happening. I do know that I'm going to be watching your team this week, and whoever random person you pick up and throw in your lineup, I'm betting $2,000 that they score 2 touchdowns in that game, because it's going to happen, and there's nothing we can all do about it because nothing makes sense anymore. Looking at the rest of your team, I was listening to some of the Eagles pressers today, and apparently Jim Schwartz said they were trying to stop Kittle at like 180 yards and 15 catches and a touchdown. If that was them trying to stop him, I shudder to think about what would have happened if they had any other weapons and had been focusing on anything else. I think that's more to speak on the Eagles' defense is terrible, but I just thought that was an interesting little tidbit there. But yeah, I forgot. The first thing I wrote was "Good Lord Jesus" because of these points. It was just absolutely insane. I did do some digging into the advanced stats too to see how much this holds up. And it does and it doesn't. You're second in points for, so you're kicking ass in points for, but you're also last in the league in points against. So apparently nobody knows how to score on you, but you're scoring on everybody. Maybe that trend keeps up and you stay in the green. I don't know, but just something to keep in mind. Yeah, that's not too much to say. Again, okay. No, there is one thing. I still don't know why the fuck you're rostering 3 tight ends when you have George Kittle. But again, it doesn't make sense. Nothing matters, and this is weird. Okay. A second. I need to go to my happy place for this one. Okay. Once again, still undefeated and leading the league is Steve. Woo! Yay! I don't know how Steve does it. Every week somebody blows up. If it's not Wilson, it's Kamara. If it's not Kamara, it's apparently Joe Mixon. If it's not Mixon, it's Wilson and Kamara, and it just doesn't matter because life isn't fair and Steve's just going to keep winning. I gave Steve shit for this on Thursday, but he knowingly started a receiver who was not going to start and who got like 2 targets in the Jets game, who got him 0 points, and yep, what do you freaking do? It doesn't even matter. This is notwithstanding of his 2 best receivers, Devontae and Juju, are on the bench. So when they come back, God help the rest of us. I don't know. I don't know what to say. I want to say it's rigged. I'm just gonna go on record to say it's rigged. I don't know how it's rigged. I can't prove it. Just call me Donald Trump. But yeah, it's rigged. The one thing I will say, look out for, Steve, is that the Steelers defense, you might want to keep them on the bench next week. They got that juggernaut of the Eagles coming up on them. 1, 2, and 1, leading the NFC East. Wentz has like a 60% completion rating and 7 interceptions. You better watch your back because it's about to get real. Looking ahead to next week, Steve's got Ryan on tap, so not very intimidating. Or is it? Could this be one of those classic trap games that all the college teams look past because they say, little cupcake matchup, I don't need to worry about it, and they come out of nowhere and get caught with their pants down? I hope so. Steve, if I were you, I'd be nervous. I know you're going to say you're not worried, but I mean, this is a lose-lose for you, but if you beat Ryan, you beat Ryan, but if you lose, this is going to be interesting. I'm looking forward to that one, and I will be watching closely. Yeah, that is all of our update for today, boys. I'm trying to think if I had any other league news or NFL news. I don't think so. Again, a lot of injuries this week, which sucks. A lot of top running backs go down. Waivers run tomorrow, so make sure you check out on that. Um, well, I think that's all I got. Good luck to your teams next week, unless you're Steve, in which case, screw you. The Eagles are winning. And as always, fuck you, Spanos. Out of here.